should probably dim the lights.
Not that much.
And, ooh. Right. It was smoother in my head. Hi, my name's Anastasia, welcome back to my channel, and today this is a chatty sit down video and a little bit of a hectic one because I know what I want to say, but excuse me if I'm a little bit all over the place. Recently, Harry Styles was on the cover of Vogue UK wearing a dress, and it kind of created very polarizing opinions. There were the people that were like, oh my god, this is revolutionary because he's apparently the first male to be on the cover of Vogue, and he's also wearing a dress, which is great, amazing, he looks fantastic in it, like, kind of makes me question my sexuality, you know, it's always good to question things. But people like Candace Owens did not like this, and I really wanted to kind of delve into this, like the concept of men wearing dresses and men wearing feminine clothes. The thing that I first want to dissect is the whole concept of being manly, as Candace Owens so eloquently put it. It's a free world. You can have your own opinion. You think that a man wearing a skirt is not manly enough. I think that a man that is so comfortable in his sexuality that he will wear a skirt and not give a fuck is the sexiest thing.
You know what? I did say that.
Difference of opinions, that's fine. But the thing that I cannot understand is that this is not the first time that this has happened. Not like the reaction, but the reaction as well. Men have been wearing skirts and dresses for thousands of years. Literally, thousands of years. Harry Styles is not the first celebrity to wear a dress. Actually, many celebrities male celebrities have been wearing dresses more and more in the past few years. Jaden Smith, Ezra Miller, Youngblood, Billy Porter with that iconic Oscar's tuxedo dress that was just mwah, pure brilliance. And even way back in the 80s and 70s with David Bowie. There's many celebrities that have been wearing dresses, but I think, and that's just my opinion, that they're usually excused because, well, either they're taking a stand like Billy Porter and they're like, you know,
this is me.
But celebrities like, well, not celebrities, but artists like Youngblood, David Bowie are kind of called eccentric. And if you're called eccentric, it's like part of your personality to kind of be different. So I don't think they get as much backlash as a reaction because it is expected. And that kind of came to me when I was having a conversation with one of my course mates during an assignment, and we're talking about toxic masculinity, and I specifically asked him, what do you think about male artists like Youngblood? And he said that this is something they can afford to do as really big public figures, and especially artistic figures. No matter like where you are in the world, you cannot, like a man cannot walk down the street with a tuxedo dress or a dress and not get like weird stares. And that's a problem. We see those celebrities on the screen wearing those dresses and we think that we're getting more accepting, but every so often people like Harry Styles come along and something like that Vogue cover issue is published and we actually see that there's still not, you know, enough acceptance. And the thing is, like, well, it's really wonderful to see celebrities wearing dresses and they're kind of paving the way because usually in our society, a society literally led by trends created by artists and the internet, they're creating the trend. So if you see a really like public figure or like an artist kind of wearing something, it's normalized. So the more celebrities that wear dresses, like male celebrities like Jaden Smith or Ezra Miller, who like, I don't care if I want to wear a skirt, I'm gonna wear a skirt, it becomes more normalized, so people actually are like, that's true, because you idolize them. But not everyone idolizes them, and I think we do need to have a conversation as to why is it so uncomfortable to see a man in a skirt. To begin with, as I said, men wearing dresses specifically have been around for thousands of years. For you Christians or like Catholics out there, Jesus was wearing a dress, by the way. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Ancient Greek people were wearing a dress. Greeks actually were wearing skirts up until the 1800s and now on national holidays because well, they weren't wearing skirts every day, but the actual like fighters, Greek fighters that went against the Turks in like 1821. Hello, history. Can I get my A now? They were in the mountains with guns and wearing skirts. People won wars wearing skirts. Not just people, men won wars wearing skirts. Let that sink in a little bit. The thing that you call too feminine for a manly man is a thing that thousands of years ago people won wars in. Caesar wore like a dress type thing. They called them chitons, I think, but they were dresses. Basically, Egyptians wore dresses. Japanese, Chinese wore dresses.
Oh, my accent.
And actually, up until the Victorian era, I think boys were dressed with dresses up until the age of 7 because it was so practical to wear a dress. You didn't really know the gender of a child by just looking at them often. You know, dresses are practical. You know, that's why they wore them in war. You can just move around better in a skirt than you can in really tight pants that are very uncomfortable. But it's just so interesting to me that back then they weren't as evolved as we are. They didn't have technology, they didn't have access to as much knowledge and education as we do. And yet there was no pink for girls, blue for boys. There was no, oh, dresses are only for women. Men wore dresses, men wore heels, men wore makeup during the, I think the 1800s. In France, they were wearing, like royals were wearing makeup. King Louis the third, fifth, whatever, was wearing heels and tights to show off his dancer legs. Like,
We didn't see that coming. We didn't. We didn't. If you're saying you saw it coming, you're lying.
in my opinion, this kind of separation of a man wears this, a woman wears this, kind of started in the 1900s, and it goes all the way to, you can hone it down to toxic masculinity, the patriarchy, what it means to be a man, and the ideology of, you know, a manly man. I don't know why, and I really don't agree with this, that clothes equal sexuality. Whatever you're wearing is an indication of your sexuality, because one of the biggest like stigmas that are attached to men wearing skirts is that if you're wearing a skirt, you're gay. By the way, if you are, that's great, that's you, you're doing you. But that doesn't change whether you're wearing a skirt or pants. A man or a woman is gay in a suit and will still be gay in a dress. I don't know why a particular set of clothes has like a sexuality label on it. It's this weird thing of, if I'm a girl and I constantly go out wearing shirts, I'm a lesbian.
Am I gay?
But if I go out wearing like skirts and like high tops and all of that, oh, I'm a straight girl. But that, no, I'm bisexual. Whether I'm wearing a skirt, whether I'm wearing a suit, but I just have different kind of moods and styles. And sometimes I want to dress like, I don't know, a tomboy. Other times I want to dress really, really girly, and that should be the same for men. Because if you look at it from a feministic point of view, if you are all for gender equality, you need to see that this is a feminist issue as well. Women started wearing suits, I think they were more established after the First World War, I think, or the Second World War. And the whole point of women wearing suits is them kind of taking a sense of power back. They're powerful, they're businesslike, they can do it. So basically what we women try to do is take a step up, because men were supposed to be here and men are like the top tier, like the person you aspire to be. So in order to show that we're equal, we're taking a step up by wearing suits and wearing manly clothes and being like, I can do this too. By those standards, if a man wears women's clothes, they're taking a step down, which means like if they show femininity, they're weak, because feminine equals weak, soft, too emotional. If you want gender equality, if you really are a feminist and you support women's rights, you should also support this. Because being equal means like both genders should be able to do the same. If a woman wants to dress in a suit or in a shirt or in whatever else she wants to dress, she should be able to without someone being, are you a lesbian? And a man should be able to dress in a tight blouse, in a really feminine dress or a skirt, or paint his nails or whatever he wants without people being like, he's definitely gay. Because he might not be. If you go and search femboy, especially on TikTok, you'll see many men who are not necessarily straight, but they're straight people, non-binary, they're bisexual, gay, they're all kinds wearing dresses, and you'll realize that it's not attached to your personality, it's attached to freedom of expression. It's how you express yourself.
Hello, so I'm editing this video and I realized I haven't mentioned something. So in this video I mostly focus on men wearing dresses, feminine clothes, but I haven't really mentioned non-binary people, because those are also people that might dress normally, or normally, whatever that means, or might choose to dress feminine, but those might be people that others view as male or female based on their appearance. That's also a huge problem, that we do not only label clothes with sexuality, we also label them with gender. Something that I think I touched upon in this video, but not really in detail. Like, as I said, women should be able to wear suits and men should be able to wear a dress, but also non-binary people should be able to wear whatever they want without being labeled as a boy or a girl, with the additional sexuality label. So they have to deal with even more labels than people that identify as a specific gender.
On the other hand, I do get it. I do get why people like Candace Owens and so many others have a different opinion, because members of like my generation and a few of the previous generations and the newest generations, like the Gen Z generation, are used to seeing these things, are growing up in the world of the internet, and it has already been normalized for them. But for previous generations that didn't grow up with the internet, didn't grow up with this exposure, it's difficult to grasp this evolution because it happened so fast. 20 years ago, some countries didn't have computers and others had like these huge things, boxes. Anyway, what I want to say is like people that were born, I don't know, in the 1970, 1980, 1960, 1950 and whatever, they weren't exposed to that because they didn't grow up with that, and they grew up in a community that was very closed and very gay was a bad word for many. People change, but people don't always change that easily, and it depends on the way you grow up. It's not easy to grasp the truth or the newest version of the truth, things that you were taught were bad. Especially for men, I think that's way harder because they grew up in a world that tells them you need to be manly men. The world of Wall Street. You need to be a businessman, you need to wear the pants. By the way, you need to understand how wrong this term is, and it's a term that perpetuates this. If you're wearing the pants, you're the manly man. If you're not, you take care of the house. So when you go and see TikToks and Instagram photos and posts of men painting their nails pink or wearing a pink blouse, something as silly as just wearing a pink blouse, immediately you're like, ugh. I do kind of sympathize with that because those are years and years and years of thoughts rooted in your head. But at the same time, this has been an evolution that has been so long overdue and has been so many years in the making that there's really no excuse.
Honey, it's only awkward for you, not for me.
And those are the kind of moments that I hate social media. It's so easy for people to hide behind a screen and type away mean comments, you wouldn't go down the street and shout,
"We need to bring a manly man back!"
You wouldn't do that, but you would do that behind a screen. My point is, in this very like all over the place chatty video, it's 2020. We should be moving forwards and clothes should stop being sexualized so much. They're a form of expression. And again, gender equality means both genders should be able to do the same without labels attached to what they're doing. If you want to paint your nails pink and you're a man, do it. There shouldn't be a neither or. People should have as many options as they want. And side note, before I close this video, let's talk about the term manly, which I think is really attached to the term alpha male. Again, toxic masculinity, patriarchy, and all of that. Let's talk about girls, okay? Which girl in this day and age would really like the typical alpha male type in the sense that it had like years ago? Of I take charge, I take the decisions, I wear the pants. No girl in the right mind during like in 2020 likes this type of a man. Personally, I would take a man wearing a dress with a kick-ass sense of humor and a sharp mind over an alpha male, you know, with like no brain. Anyway, my point is, let's accept everyone, no matter their sexuality, the clothes, the preference of clothes, or whatever else they're doing. And that was it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from this. Give this a like, a comment on your opinion about men wearing feminine clothes, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!